Welcome to The Real Authority. This is my pretty rough review of Wednesday Season 2. I just got done with it. Wanted to wait until both Part 1 and Part 2 are out before reviewing it. And I wanted to just get out some of my spoilery thoughts in general for this review without editing, because the last time I tried editing a series review was Squid Game Season 3, but then I realized that was going on for way too long. So I'm just going to discuss the points that I want to mention. For positives, Jenna Ortega continues to do great work as Wednesday in this season. I mean, we all know her for Wednesday. I mean, she's tried to break out a few times. I mean, the movies she's released so far this year that I've seen, I mean, they're not great. Don't show the best of her abilities, but she's good in them. But Jenna Ortega here, clearly Wednesday was best suited for her. I don't know. However, a surprising standout was Emma... What's her name? Unprofessional review. Emma Myers, I'm pretty sure was her name, as Enid Sinclair. I do feel she does great here too. Like, she was great in the first season as well, but I felt here she was really a standout. I mean, she was a standout in the Minecraft movie too, so there's that. I don't really like the Minecraft movie, but there is that too. Felt like Tim Burton. I am a big Tim Burton fan. I absolutely love his work. However, I've experienced a lot of disappointments within the past decade, which made me really latch onto Wednesday Season 1 as a personal favorite in a long time of his. And I do feel his direction is inventive enough. It may be less inventive or less stylish than I remember it being from the first season, but there are a lot of moments. Like, there's this stop motion scene, which begins one of my biggest issues with the movie, or not movie, with the show. Like, there's a side plot that is kicked off by this stop motion sequence, but it was really good. There are a lot of times where you can see Tim Burton's style shine above everything else. A lot of color in this. I do feel that the writing, even though it is convoluted as hell, I feel like it has a lot of good dialogue. And I do feel some of the directions they take a lot of characters is really good. I guess I gotta get into spoilers in a sec. I'll put off my main complaint right now, or let you know. The show is convoluted, or at least this season is. I felt like the first season had a lot more focus, but this season tries to go all over the place. Like, there are three main plots that are at odds with each other, and the second half of the show tries to connect them together in a way that, yeah, is satisfying, but it is kind of rough to, get there, which really does suck, because the first season was, focused on a primary goal, basically solving this mystery, which basically led to a Hyde discovery, and Tyler being at the center of it. I don't know. With this season, it's not only the continuation of that, but also the resolve of the creepy stalker thing from the last season. That was the post-credit scene. I don't know, that was kind of disappointing, because it turns out to be a fellow student at Nevermore, an invisible girl, and there's only really one episode where she's given any time to shine. Well, actually, no, she shines a lot, to the point where she does become annoying, because she's a stalker. She idolizes Wednesday, which contrasts. I feel like there's only one episode where her shtick kind of worked, just in my opinion. It at points just becomes annoying, although I do feel that when they let her character develop, it works. I don't know, 3 minutes, holy crap. Trying to think of what else. Pugsley, the brother of Wednesday, basically sets a chain of events that kind of is stupid. So he befriends a zombie who turns out to be related to the main villain of the show, and I don't know why. Like, he starts off as a joke character, and throughout the first half of the show, he's just really there as a means of convenience. In fact, a lot of the show has a lot of conveniences, and then he turns out to be the brother of the mother of Tyler, or whatever his name is. So it's just so bizarre, and he doesn't really have a lot of, standout attributes. He was kind of a flat villain, although I will say he works decently enough, not as good as Christina Ricci's character, who gets the most disappointing send-off of the show. Well, no, she basically was done dirty in this series. I feel like a lot of the characters in this show were underutilized in favor of the main ones, which was kind of disappointing. Although I will say a lot of episodes do have their strong points. I do feel there are only 2, 10 out of 10 episodes, and a show which consistently gave 9s or 10s in the first season. Those being the premiere and episode 6. The premiere was actually a really riveting start, and that is where, like, it's trying to develop. I don't know, like, they're still trying to introduce all the side plots, but it's here where it's, like, not evident. Once you get deeper into the season, it becomes more of a problem. But it was good, left off with a great cliffhanger. Episode 6, though, wow, that might have been one of the best episodes of the entire show, which I was actually really surprised by. It's basically Freaky Friday, but with Wednesday and Enid. Basically, she does something that causes them to switcheroo, and both actors get the chance to display really comedic timing. Really good comedic timing. Like, Jenna Ortega, I haven't seen her this expressive. Granted, I haven't seen her, like, Child Star days. I don't know if she's as expressive in that in, like, Malcolm in the... That's the wrong show. Stuck in the Middle? I don't know. But Jenna really was a standout, acting like Enid Sinclair. She contrasts heavily with the Wednesday character. And I almost do appreciate it. Like, don't get me wrong, the episode still runs into the side plot issue, but I actually had a lot of fun with it, especially considering the fact that Jenna Ortega is basically playing Enid in Wednesday's body, and it's honestly kind of fun. Like, Enid is still fun as Emma Myers, but I do appreciate the switcheroo dynamic. It's really fun and makes you forget about all of the issues until episode 7 comes along, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not a bad episode, but it's probably my least favorite. So obviously the side plots are a really big issue, but I do have to stress this, episode 6 was really strong. And even though the next episode was really weak, I would probably give it a 6. I do feel that with the finale, it does come together. It's still convoluted, and there's a lot of predictable stuff in there, especially with the cliffhanger that they left on. Like, the music teacher I knew was sus from the beginning, so it was kind of unsurprising and like a grown-worthy moment when she was like, hey Tyler, I know your mother, I mean, I'm not gonna treat you like the other Hydes. We actually have a full-on support group. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing, and I don't know, I mean, she basically told Enid that, hold on, you're going to get into wolf form if you don't go into the cages, and then ultimately she turns into a wolf, and that's also where the series ends on. Wednesday trying to find her, and then Aunt Ophelia basically being a person that's still alive, held by her grandmama. I don't know. I mean, this series is this season's cliffhanger isn't really as strong or compelling as the first season's, but it does the job well. I am interested for Wednesday season 3. I am, but ultimately the show has a lot of flaws. And oh wait, I forgot about another side plot. So Steve Buscemi plays the principal that is replacing Weems, who appears as a ghost during this season. If you haven't seen the show, I'm sorry. I told you I was dropping spoilers. This is probably confusing to a person not in the know. But Principal Dort is basically a principal that's there hiding under a nice physique. Unedited. I do apologize for this. The Real Authority will try not to do this again. Maybe. But he's basically tricking the Siren kid to basically convince Wednesday's mom and grandma to basically include funding. So he's basically doing a scheme, like a scamming all their money scheme, and it kind of ends in a way that's like, did one of the Nevermore students just kill someone, and is he not gonna get any consequences? I don't know. Like, the show makes a lot of incorrect choices. Like, Enid's basically broken up with Ajax for, well, not broken up, but basically taking a break, and they don't really resolve that until the end, for where she has a boyfriend who, in the second half of the show, is revealed to be a cheater because of the switcheroo dynamic. I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up there, although I do want to tell you my overall thoughts on the show so far. I even wrote down the ranking. You know what? I don't know if you can get that. Like, I basically listed the seasons and then the episodes after that. I'm sorry about this. Wednesday season 2 is definitely a stark drop-off from the first season, and I do feel the highlights really shine above the rest of the season in order for me to say it's not as good as the first season. I do feel the first season was more stronger, more focused, less all over the place. I do feel season 2 is much more convoluted, but I will say the highlights are really high, and ultimately I am happy that it didn't end in a completely unfulfilling manner. Episode 7 is definitely a weak point for the entire show, but I do feel it definitely has a consistent amount of 8 out of 10 episodes to really make up for it. Again, season 1 and especially season 6 are the highlights. So Real Authority would still approve, probably 8 out of 10 average, and if I were to give my score for the entire show, because the first I'd probably give a 10, I'd say an 8 out of 10 average, or did I write 9? Oh, I wrote 9. It's a 9 out of 10 average for the show. Definitely something that I did enjoy, just not as much as the first season. I'm not going to edit that in the like, subscribe, comment I usually include in that corner or that corner, I don't know. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and comment your thoughts on the show. And if you have any requests for future reviews, let me know. I'm going to go. Hopefully you enjoyed this unedited, natural segment. Beats AI. Peace.